4, 3, 2, 1. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Monroe Mann here, coming to you live and direct from Break Diving's awesome YouTube channel. Excuse me. The last video I did was this is part of the series of the Diver's Code. For those of you who don't know, break diving it's the name of this channel, but it's also the name of a philosophy. Don't wait for opportunities to float to the surface. You need to dive into the cold, icy, shark-infested waters of resistance and make your own big breaks in life. And it's also the name of a not-for-profit company that I created. You can join us at breakdiving.io. The link is in the description, breakdiving.io. We're a different type of social media community because we have an application process. And we also have a set of member expectations and a diver's code that everybody in the official community needs to abide by. So, I mean, you can always say that you are a break diver because it's a philosophy. And so any of you guys here on this live stream or who are subscribers to the YouTube channel, you are a break diver because it's a philosophy. Anyone who follows the principles of break diving is a break diver. But if you want to be an official member of the community, a card-carrying member, you need to come to breakdiving.io and join the community. Last time we talked about Tenet number 1, which was, I am a break diver. Now, talking about Tenet number 2, I am not lazy. And how I do this with this series about the Diver's Code is I will read it for you now, and then we'll talk about it. I'll read it again. We'll talk about it. We'll read it again. And in answer to many people's questions, is break diving a cult? It's a collection of really awesome people who are friendly and supportive and want to help each other accomplish impossible dreams. If that makes us a cult, then we are proud cult members. But we're not going to make you drink drug-laced Kool-Aid and kill yourself like the Jonestown situation down in Guyana. We will never do that. You are ultimately responsible for making your own decisions. So I'm going to read this to you now. I am not lazy. This is tenet number 2 of the Break Diver's Code. Here we go. I recognize that I am far more capable, mentally and physically, than I give myself credit for. Each week I strive to accomplish more than the week prior, and each year more than the year before. I will not waste my time watching hours of TV, playing hours of video games, spending wasteful hours on pointless social media, or just procrastinating. I get things done. What's up, Kayla? Great to see you. Great to see the rest of you. If you're just joining us, my name is Monroe Mann. I'm the executive director of Break Diving. It's a global not-for-profit. And let's see, Darren says, Mark Zuckerberg, why'd you live on YouTube? Thanks for the compliment, because Mark Zuckerberg's a good-looking, wealthy guy. And, well, I'm at least good-looking. Might not be a wealthy guy yet, but I'm getting there. And no like bullies, I recognized a monkey when I joined your stream. Monkey is my spirit animal, so thank you very much. And are you my dad? I am in many ways because I like to consider every one of my streams one of my children because I'm trying to guide you to become more successful in life, and that's what a parent does, and that's what Break Diving's mission is to improve our members and the world's happiness, success, and friendship around the world. And so I'm here to try to inspire you. And I hope that I can do that. Hello, that pretty person. Great to see you. So we're talking about the second tenet of the Diver's Code. I am not lazy. So we have all of these tenets. I'll read them all to you so you know what they are. It's called here the Diver's Code. You can find that at breakdiving.io. That's our community site if you want to get it in full. But here, number 1, I am a break diver. Number 2, I am not lazy. Number 3, I never give up. Number 4, I always say please and thank you. Number 5, I try not to get offended. Number 6, I do not lie, cheat, steal, or plagiarize. Number 7, I always try to help. Number 8, I brag tastefully. Number 9, I keep my ego in check. Number 10, I ask for help. Number 11, I broaden my horizons. And number 12, finally, I just see winners. What am I talking about right now? This is the code that I want you to live by as a brake diver. A brake diver is somebody who dives in to the cold and icy, shark-infested waters of resistance and make his own or her own breaks in life. A break is a opportunity. And the problem is so many of us just wait for opportunities to come to us. That's not how success happens. You need to go out and make your own big breaks in life. And that's what we do at breakdiving.io. We're a global community. You're welcome to join, or you're welcome to just stick around here. Hope somebody's going to click like, at least one, because I'm saying some amazing stuff right here, and I'm not getting even a little bit of love. I find that hard to believe. So I think in about 1 minute, we're going to get at least one like on here. And we'd love you to subscribe. We're 20 subs away from reaching 500 subscribers, which is the first step for monetization on YouTube when you become a YouTube partner. So our first step is to get to 500. Got the first like. I love it. And then the next step is to do more of these live streams to inspire you guys and get to the 3,000 watch hours we need to start getting some money from Super Chat and from merchandise sales and memberships. So again, I want to read this to you again. Let me just read what. Okay, so you are being timed out. And let me see what we got here. What's up, MM Not Like Bullies? Thanks for the sub. It's 10 o'clock at night. Okay, what's up, Amethyst? What's up, Ciara? I don't like Drake or Kendrick. I'm just going to listen, so won't be commenting that much. Hey, that pretty person, guess what? I am promoting you to moderator. So if you see some people saying inappropriate things, I trust you now because of the other channel. My other channel is Monroe Mann. I have about 2,500 subscribers there, and that channel is just going through the roof, getting 200 subs a week. It's pretty crazy. I'm trying to do the same thing here with this one. Barman says, I put a screen door in the submarine to keep the underwater mosquitoes out. Can I talk about screen doors, please? You can talk about screen doors as long as you're not insulting people on this channel, and as long as you are not spamming with the same message over and over again. And in general, I'm fine. If you guys want to be funny on here, that's fine. If you have philosophical things to share, that's fine. Just make sure that it's appropriate and you're not ruining the experience for other people. So again, we're talking about the second tenet of the Brake Divers Code. I am not lazy. Here's the truth. You are an extremely lazy person. So am I. At the end of this live stream, I want you to become a lot less lazy than you are. Some of you might be offended. What's wrong with this guy? Why is he telling me I'm lazy? I'm not lazy. I get things done. We're human beings, which means we're imperfect. We run out of energy. We sometimes lack motivation. Sometimes we are depressed, which means we are all lazy at some points. To give you just some background on who I am, I have a PhD in psychology. I'm a lawyer. I have an MBA in finance. I'm a project management professional. I'm a filmmaker. I'm an actor. You can actually find my films and me acting. I'm on Fandango now, on Vudu, on Tubi. Look for the film You Can't Kill Stephen King. So in a sense, I know what I'm talking about. And what I want you guys to recognize is, number one, embrace it. I am a lazy person. And say it out loud. I am a lazy person and it's okay. Now, again, this is weird. In the Divers Code right here, I just said you have to start agreeing with the premise that you are not lazy. So then why am I telling you right now to say out loud, I am a lazy person? Why? Because the people who do not get things done are people who do not think they are lazy. I know it's weird, crazy psychology. But the more lazy that you acknowledge yourself to be, the more likely you can make efforts to actually become productive. As they say in Alcoholics Anonymous, the first step is recognizing that you have a problem. That's the first step to any type of improvement, is recognizing that you have a problem. In this case, the problem is procrastination. I recognize I am a procrastinator, and yet people who know me tell me that I am the most accomplished person they have ever met in their lives. If you do a Google search for me, search for Monroe Mann, you will be absolutely blown away with the things that I've done. We got 2 people looking at this live stream, and you are 2 very fortunate people because you're talking to one of the most accomplished people on the planet. And I'm not joking. Just do a Google search for my name, Monroe Mann, Monroe Mann, and then you'll say, whoa, why did I have the opportunity to be one of the 2 people listening to him speak at 11:30 at night? Okay? I want you to get as much accomplished as I do. How can you do that? Step 1, recognize you are lazy. Why do you want to recognize that you are lazy? Because when you recognize that you are lazy, you can only improve from there. When I wake up in the morning, I recognize, Monroe, you're a lazy person. What can you do in this first 30 minutes to get off to a productive start immediately? And sometimes it's very hard. Sometimes I'm really tempted to look at my phone first because my alarm is on my phone, and so the alarm goes off. What's up, Russell? I've seen him go through the process of learning Mandarin. 你说的对，我会说中文，我是非常聪明的美国人。Which means you said the truth. I can speak Chinese. I'm very smart, and I'm a very smart American. Russell, great to see you. By the way, guys, please click a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And we're talking about tenet number 2 of the Break Divers Code, which is I am not lazy. But in order to not be lazy, you have to first admit that you are. And as I was saying, every time I wake up in the morning, I recognize that I'm lazy. As soon as I grab my phone and turn off the alarm, my instinct is to start scrolling through notifications, through emails. I have to force myself to put the phone down and pick up one of the books that I have on my night table and read for 10 minutes. Why do I do this? Because our natural inclination is to be lazy. Our natural inclination is not to do an extra push-up. Our natural inclination is to stop doing push-ups and give your body a rest. But that is a big problem. How can you do an extra push-up? By recognizing, it's weird. Some people think that, I can do an extra push-up by going, I am strong. I am strong. Believe it or not, you may end up doing an extra push-up by saying, I am weak. And I need to do this extra push-up to become strong. So sometimes you need to do some reverse psychology on your own brain. How come we have 7 people here and there's not one like? And I know I'm saying something valuable. Right, pretty person? Right, Mr. Fly? Right, Russell Grant? There should be 3 likes at least here from the 3 of you. There, we got 1. All right. Hoping we can get 2 more and get up to 3. What is it? I think it's I forget which law of motion it is. What's up, Vox FPS? Hope you'll subscribe too. I have to remember, I'd have to look in which law of motion is it that an object in motion tends to stay in motion and an object at rest tends to stay at rest. In terms of human beings, 9 times out of 10, we are at rest. Why? Because when you wake up in the morning, you've been sleeping for 6, 7, 8, 9 hours, your whole body is in a state of hibernation for 8 hours. It does not want to get up and move and start moving. Your brain does not want to immediately get up and start working. It does not want to start computing things. The same thing happens sometimes at night when you're starting to get tired and exhausted, but it's mostly in the morning. And this is why starting your day with a good mindset and acknowledging that you are lazy is so important, because that means if you acknowledge you're lazy, you're going to think, ugh, I don't want to think that way. Put down that phone and either do 30 push-ups as soon as you wake up. Read 10 pages in the book that's on your bedside before you get out of bed. Do 30 sit-ups from your bed. If you can overcome that initial inertia of an object at rest tends to stay at rest, boom, you can overcome this idea of being lazy. I want to read this again. It's going to make more sense to you now the second time. I am not lazy. I recognize that I am far more capable mentally and physically than I give myself credit for. Each week I strive to accomplish more than the week prior, and each year more than the year before. I will not waste my time watching hours of TV, playing hours of video games, spending wasteful hours on pointless social media, or just procrastinating. I get things done. And the answer is yes. To some extent, watching any video on YouTube, even myself, I mean, this is basically the combination of watching a YouTube video and watching TV. Watching some TV and watching some YouTube videos is good. If you're watching good content, such as this, that's inspiring you, motivating you, but ultimately you cannot succeed by just watching stuff on YouTube. You have to get up off your chair and get things done. Or if you're a web developer or you're a YouTuber or this, that, sit down in your chair and start recording, start editing. Vox FPS, the law of inertia is an object in motion, stays in motion. It's both. The law of inertia is an object in motion, stays in motion, and an object at rest tends to stay at rest. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the law of inertia is both of those things. Whatever state something is in is the state that it tends to stay in. The term momentum is the idea that once a train is moving, it takes a lot. For example, the law of inertia, it takes a lot of effort to get a freight train moving. If you know what a freight train is, it's got 30, 40, 50 cars. That thing is so heavy that when that engine starts to move, it moves about an inch every 5 seconds, and then another inch, and then another inch, and then eventually 3 inches every second, then 5 inches, then 10 inches, then finally it's actually starting to go. You hear that when it's the old type of engines. It takes forever for that train to start moving. But once that thing is moving, it will destroy anything in its path. It's called a juggernaut. If you look up the word juggernaut, Juggernaut, juggernaut. And once that train becomes a juggernaut, if a truck is in front of the train tracks, boom, that truck gets destroyed. If there are 3 cars in front of the train track, all 3 cars get destroyed because of that law of inertia, overcoming inertia, and then momentum. Once something gets moving, it is really hard to stop it. So again, I am not lazy. That's the second tenet that we're talking about. That's fine. You can believe that you are not lazy. But sometimes what's going to allow you to overcome that initial inertia, that initial difficulty of getting out of bed in the morning and actually saying, I'm going to start this day and kick some butt. Even right now, right before this live stream, I was just lying on my couch and watching America's Got Talent. And I was thinking I really should do a breakdiving video. I want to get the watch time up. I want to get the subscribers up for breakdiving. But it was just, I felt so good. The inertia of just lying in that bed was magical. But I had to remind myself, Monroe, you are really lazy right now. I wasn't saying I am not lazy. what got me out of bed is going, Monroe, first it was like, stop being lazy. But then it was, Monroe, you are not lazy. Get out of this bed and go do what you have to do. Go make another live stream for the Break Diving channel so you can get to 500 subscribers and get on the road to 3,000 hours of watch time so you can start making some money for this not-for-profit. And Break Diving is a not-for-profit that I started in 2016. It's a Delaware corporation, in case you're wondering. I want you to, let me read some of these things here. Russell is saying, my procrastination mindset at the current state, prioritizing diverting activities like cleaning over studying, attachment theory relating to young children because it was not easy. However, after watching Mr. Mann's, technically Dr. Mann, because I have my PhD, Dr. Mann's live feed, I've recommended to the Break Divers Creed, recommitted. This has enabled me to pump out more units than I have in past 4. Thank you, Monroe. You're welcome. Also, it's Monroe with a O, not a U. But I forgive you because I always forget if you're from Australia or New Zealand, and I still can't remember. I know you were born in one place, but you live in another. Which is it again? Where you're from where and you live where, Russell? I really got to know, and I'm going to get this right. And by the way, there are 4 people here. I hope one more of you can click like, because I got to have at least 3 likes on this live stream or I'm not stopping talking. I'm just going to be talking until 4 a.m. And it's only midnight now. That's going to be 4 hours. I'm going to be exhausted. You're going to be exhausted. Nobody wants that. But I am so not lazy that I am willing to do that in order to get these 3 likes. We got 1 like now. We need to get to 3. So you're from New Zealand, Russell, and you live in Brisbane, Australia. Very, very cool. I remember that. Russell Grant is from New Zealand. Okay. And then you went down under. That's it. Russell Grant is from New Zealand, and then he went down under. I used to work with him in China, and now we're going asunder. Bada bada boom. For those joining you again, my name is Monroe Mann. I'm the founder of Break Diving, breakdiving.io. We're a not-for-profit global personal growth community where we all work together to support one another in achieving impossible goals through meetups, mentorship, motivation, and mutual support. So hope you will check that out. Hope you'll subscribe to this channel. So again, I want to read this again to you. We have this diver's code, which is part of what it means to be a break diver. And all of our members, our official members, must agree to live by this in their lives. The first one is, I am a break diver. We talked about that yesterday. Today we're talking about number 2. I'm going to read the whole thing to you. Listen really carefully and try to internalize what this means to you and how you can apply it in your life. 2, I am not lazy. I recognize that I am far more capable, mentally and physically, than I give myself credit for. Each week I strive to accomplish more than the week prior, and each year more than the year before. I will not waste my time watching hours of TV, playing hours of video games, spending wasteful hours on pointless social media, or just procrastinating. I get things done. And I want to just focus on that last sentence for a little bit. I get things done. Are you that type of person? Honestly ask yourself, would people describe you as someone who gets things done? If not, that's what I want you to focus on for the next week. In fact, the rest of this year. You got about 6 months left in this year. June and July, August, September, October, November, December. I want you to make it your mission that at the end of this year, all of your friends and the people that you hang out with in your daily lives start to think of you differently and start to think of you as the person who gets things done. The truth is, you can get 10 times more done this week than you got done last week if you just acknowledge what I'm saying here is that you're a lazy person. I'm a lazy person. The more I remind myself that I'm a lazy person, the less lazy I become, the more productive I turn into, and the more things that I am able to accomplish. The only reason I got up out of my couch and started doing this live stream at 11:30 at night in the United States, I was thinking, Monroe, you were being so lazy. And as soon as I say I'm so lazy, I switch and I remember the creed and go, the code. I am not lazy. Break divers are not lazy. Break divers dive into those cold and icy, shark-infested waters of resistance and make and create their own breaks in life. That is you. So please focus today or tomorrow if you're going to bed. But actually, you can do it tonight. You're clearly watching this live stream right now if you're here live. You're either lying down, sitting down, or doing something. So I am telling you, before you go to bed tonight, I want you to make sure that you do some amazingly productive things. Even if it's just over 15 minutes. Read a book for 5 minutes. Respond to a few emails that you've putting away or you've been putting off for 5 minutes. And work on some project for 5 minutes. Do some internet research for a company you want to start. Maybe grab an encyclopedia or a book off of your bookshelf, someone you haven't even read yet, and read something new. Do 10 push-ups before you go to bed. There are so many things you can do to be productive. Think about that. In 15 minutes, you can do a mini workout by doing 30 push-ups, 30 sit-ups, and 30 squats. That'll take you less than 5 minutes. Then grab a book and read it for 5 minutes. You can read at least 2 or 3 pages in 5 minutes, probably more. And then go on the internet and do some research for a project that you've been interested in, but you've been putting off for 5 minutes. You will have gotten done in 15 minutes more than most people do in a day to improve their lives. Imagine if you do those 15-minute bursts 6, 7, 8 times a day, and you've got 2 hours of solid productivity. Because you are a break diver, you will find a way, and you are not lazy. Can I get one more like? Maybe even if I can't get to 3, I think break diving deserves at least 2 likes. Come on, guys. 2 likes. Give me 2 likes, yo. I need 2 likes. 2 likes are right here with pepperoni, yeah? I'm from New York. I'm from Brooklyn. I think I should get a like from this New York accent. What are you saying? So before I sign off for today, what I want to remind you is live by the break divers. First, become a break diver, meaning put it into your mindset that you are someone who dives in every day and makes your own breaks and opportunities. Number 2, live by the break diver's creed. It's the tattoo that's on my arm here, here, and up there, but you can't see it. It's Chinese here, and in English, it's 6 words. No rules, no excuses, no regrets. I want you to live by that creed. And number 3, I want you to live by every tenet of the diver's code. The first one is I am a break diver. And the second one, which we're focusing on today, is I am not lazy. And if you love this stuff, if you think, wow, I want to get a heck of a lot more of this, you can do a lot of things. You can subscribe to this channel, turn on the notifications. You can watch some of these other live streams. You can watch some of our other videos here. And the biggest step is you can go to breakdiving.io and join our community. BREAK, like break your head, break diving, as in diving into the water, breakdiving.io, BREAKDIVING.io. And no, Russell, not unfortunately, yes, I am a lazy person. It's fortunately, let's go back. It's yes, I'm a lazy person. Fortunately, I'm acknowledging it. When you acknowledge that you're a lazy person, you can do something about it. The problem is when people get cocky and think, I am such a productive person. I get so much done. If you think that way, you're not going to improve. I want to always improve. I never want to rest on my laurels and think that there's no way for me to become more productive, better at time management, more efficient with my time. You've got to believe that you're lazy or you're not going to feel that you can become even more productive. Russell says, since Dr. Mann's Last Life podcast, I've listed all the ways that I am lazy. Good. I'm glad you have that list. And then figure out a simple solution for each one of them. I mean, I know the simple solution. I talk about it all the time. Winners do it now. That's one of my big slogans that I've come up with in my life. And it's one of the main topics of my book, Time Zen. If you search Monroe Mann Time Zen on Amazon, you'll find my book there. Come up with all the ways you're lazy. And then for every single one of them, all you need to figure out is, how can I convince myself that winners do it now for that particular task? Let me see what you wrote. This lets me recognize all the ways that I'll consider procrastinating before it happens. I love it, Russell. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And I know that, Russell, I know that you have a ton of dreams. And I've heard you. You've explained them to me, this and that. And I want you to make leaps and bounds of progress this week. Well, let's say this weekend. Well, actually, I guess in New Zealand, it's already Sunday. Well, let's do it. It's your Sunday right now in New Zealand. Excuse me, in Australia. You live in Australia now. Make this your most productive Sunday of the entire year. Put all that procrastination aside. Put all of that laziness aside. And make it your commitment that you are going to make today the most productive day of your life. I try to do that every day of my life. I wake up and go, this is going to be my most productive day. I'm going to go to church tomorrow too. I haven't gone to church in a long time. And I finally found a church on Lincoln Road that I want to give a try. And so I hope to go there tomorrow. I'm going to see if my mom wants to come. And I'm going to see if that maybe helps me make some new friends, make a better connection with God. And you finished an early childhood care unit. Awesome. Pretty person. I'm glad that you went to church or you're going tomorrow. Hey, pretty person, can you please give me a like? Or Russell, if you haven't given me a like, breakdiving needs your support, guys. We need to get a couple more likes, because we get a couple more likes, then the YouTube algorithm is going to promote our videos more often. Okay, I'm back. Sorry. Make sure I got it out. We're at 72%. So that pretty person is the first like. Russell, did you click like yet? Because it says we only have one like. Maybe we have more likes. Russell says, I am in the Child of God dive. Awesome, Russell. Let me tell you this, Russell, you know the thing that would help breakdiving a lot is if you would submit your first dive certification for something. Pick Child of God if you want. I don't care. Whatever one. In order to make the mentorship program on breakdiving work, we need to have more people who are genuinely certified in dives, because those people can then become mentors to others. I honestly think you should, because I know English teaching and English coaching is one of your businesses, why don't you certify English level 1 as well? And just talk about growing up in New Zealand and how you learned English as a child in New Zealand and what it was like. That'll inspire a lot of people, and then boom, because so many people in breakdiving are trying to improve their English. And if you're certified as English level 1, then now you can become a mentor to the others with a stamp of credibility. So if you want to help breakdiving, that would be one of the best ways to do, is to start certifying some of these dives. And I will do that for my productivity for today. Awesome. So I look forward. I hope when I wake up tomorrow morning, we've got a dive submission for certification for Russell Grant. And I will say this, Russell, before you answer the questions, go to wiseguidance.org. W-Y-S-E, guidance.org. The Y stands for what you should expect. And go look at some of the dive certification posts that others have made. You'll get a kind of an idea of how you should answer the questions. And remember to answer the questions for that particular dive at that particular level. I understand that you are a native speaker of English and you speak it fluently. But for dive level 1, it's how did you learn the basics of reading, writing, speaking, and listening to English? So, for example, you would just talk about, my parents were native speakers, and I'm my first words were probably mama or dada, and I lived in a in an immersion environment because I'm a New Zealander or I'm a Kiwi. I think that's what you call yourselves. So just think about that, because we're trying to help other people understand what it was like for those first basic steps at level 1. Cool. Guys, thank you. I think it's just the two of you, Pretty Person and Russell Grant. I appreciate you guys being a part of this. Thank you for your support of breakdiving and helping this channel. If you meet any friends who want this inspiration too, please send them to this channel and tell them to subscribe. Yeah, wise. What you should expect. My first word was bugger. My dad loves it. Awesome. That's the story that we want to hear. We want to hear about your story as a 1, 2, and 3-year-old, 4-year-old learning the basics of speaking. And maybe if you can remember, or ask your dad, Dad, do you remember the first words I was writing, and what were the first things that I wrote? Was it in elementary school that I first learned to write? Did you and Mom teach me something? So that would be really wonderful. Thank you. Good night, Pretty Person. Good eye, Russell Grant. It's the worst Australian, I know, but love you guys. Thank you so much, and catch you the next time.